Beep beep everybody, hope you're all having a great day today. Thanks for tuning in. So this is one of those catch-all videos that I do irregularly, if I can get that word out correctly. Semi-monthly I'd say. I'm trying to do them about every month, but sometimes I forget to do them and then I end up with this much longer video of going over things that I find. No antique malls in this one. The last time I was at Big Valley, I actually filmed it, and that's in a separate video. So go ahead and check my channel out for that. So we're going over basically things I bought since the last time I posted a video of things that I buy at various odds and ends places where filming is not, important, like eBay. I'm not going to film myself buying things on a laptop. So these are basically from eBay and a purchase from the Card Swap, and I'll try to put a link down below for the Card Swap. It's worth checking out. They have some pretty fair prices on some things. I think the site is more well known for card breaks and things like that, but they do sell singles on there. I think we'll go over that first, and then we'll go over both modern and vintage finds that I found on eBay. This dates back through, I think, late October through November, and hopefully this will get posted in December. So we from, let's see, oh, beep beep from Grimace. Let's go over the Card Swap first. I have these things written down so I can remember exactly what I paid for them. Alright, so what they were doing at the time that I ordered these on Card Swap is if you bought 3 singles, it was 30% off your order. Not just the 3 cards, but your entire order. So this is kind of a mixed bag of stuff. I tend to be rather eclectic with my buying. I have a lot of different players that I collect, and so it seems random, and I find it more fun that way. So let's see. The first thing I got was this 2023 Topps Pro Debut MLB Legends, and this is John Mayberry, the one that played for the Blue Jays back in the 70s and the Royals. Had a pretty decent career, mostly forgotten these days, I think, but he was a pretty good player back then. This came out in 2023 Topps Pro Debut, and this is the orange parallel, and this is him pictured with, what is it called? The Oklahoma City 89ers, back before he made it to the big leagues, and they give his stats on the back while he was in the minor leagues, up through 1971. This one is numbered. What's that say? 4 out of 25. I got that for $4.20, and that has the 30% already off that price. You can do the math to figure out what the original price this was being sold for. I thought that was a pretty cool card. Was a fan of John Mayberry back in the day, although I only got to see him at the very end of his career. We got another pro debut. This is from 2018. This is Juan Soto. This was $2.80. It's nice to get a pre-rookie card of Juan Soto, and that's what this is. Adbert Alzolay. This is from 2020 Diamond Kings. This is a hollow blue parallel and auto. I have another auto of his, and he I don't know what he's going to do in 2024, but he managed to be the closer in 2023 and managed to get 20 saves, so I think he's worth paying attention to. So that's why when I find his cards cheap, I go and find them. So this is an auto, and it is also numbered, let's see if I can focus that, that's 6 out of 10, and I got this for $3.50, which I thought was a bargain for that. 2020 Topps Gypsy Queen blue parallel of Tony Gwynn, and this is numbered 86 out of 150 down there. I got that for $4.20. We got a Chase Utley from 2023 Allen and Ginter. This is a framed mini relic. There's a mini card within a frame here, and it's a game-used piece of uniform, I believe. Anyway, that was $3.50. That was not numbered. 2023 Topps 88 All-Star Relic. Game-used uniform there for Joey Votto. That was $3.50. The Chase Utley was also $3.50. I don't know if I said the price on that one. And the last card I bought from the card swap was this 2023 Allen and Ginter framed mini relic of Sammy Sosa, and this was also $3.50. So I got 3 relics in this purchase, all I think fair prices. All right, let's go to eBay. We're going to go over these singles first, and these are going to be mostly modern cards, but with some vintage thrown in, and behind that is some more vintage stuff that I got off of eBay. So sometimes they have like these sales on there, and I took advantage of a few sellers that were having sales where if you bought like 3 cards, you'd get like 25% off or 15% off or some deal like that. So a lot of these are purchases like that. I comb the sales often on there whenever I get a chance, and if I see something that looks like a good price, I pick it up, and it ends up with an eclectic random bunch of cards. So this is 2020 Gypsy Queen Juan Soto. I have no idea if I have this, but it was definitely something I'd check out. I think this is a silver. This is a silver. That's not numbered. A silver or parallel or something. That was $2.24. 2020 Gypsy Queen, Tarot of the Diamond, Mike Trout. That was about $2. This one was a one-off purchase. I'm curious about these buyback cards, and I've taken an interest in them, and I've mostly been interested in buying like players that I was a fan of back in the late 70s into the early 80s, and Greg Luzinski was one of them, and this is his 1973 Topps card that they buy these cards back, I think, at card shops or whatever. People, I don't know exactly how much Topps pays for them. Maybe the card store pays them some amount and then Topps reimburses them. I'm not really sure how it works, but they take these back to wherever and they stamp over them, and then they insert these in Heritage packs usually. And this, I think, is from 2022 Topps Heritage, and it's got 50th anniversary logo stamped on it, but it is an actual 1973 Topps card. I was looking for an early Greg Luzinski one. I don't know how much these are supposed to go for. Most catalogs don't list them. They're hard to tell how many of them that they actually stamped over, how many of them they actually got. But I did pay $10 for that. You can let me know in the comments if that was a good price on this or not. I'm not really sure. I do see quite a few Hall of Famer cards that have these buyback stamps on them go for a lot more. Greg Luzinski's not a Hall of Famer, but he is one of my favorite players, so I was willing to pay the $10 for that. I have a few more of these further down in the pile. We got some Hot Box purple parallels from 2023 Topps Heritage. This is Kyle Schwarber, and these only appeared, I guess, in, I think hobby boxes definitely, but they may have Hot Box blaster boxes. I'm not sure. These were all for about $2, give or take something. Some are under, some are a little bit over. Kyle Schwarber, Manny Machado, and these are not numbered. Jose Altuve, and Mookie Betts. The game within the game is something that you order on Topps.com. These are older ones that I did not have. They come out with, like, I think one a month, and they're only up for a limited time, and so they have a limited print run based on how many that people order. This one's from 2021. This is Ronald Acuna Jr. I got this for $3. And this one was a Luis Robert rookie card. I got that for $1.75. Here's some more stuff that was basically a mixture of things from... No, actually, this is just a one-off, I think. It's a Bowman's Best Bobby Witt Jr. from 2021. I suppose that would be a pre-rookie card. That was $4. I bought a bunch of Topps Nail cards. I think these were about $3 each. I think, give or take, above and below. They were having a sale, and the prices came out into some weird numbers that were around $3 each. These, I guess, these are technically rookie cards. Several of them are Julio Rodriguez. This is one. He has a historic Game 1 of the American League Division Series. These all date from 2022. And on the back, they have this neat little Topps logo that shows up in the light, which I think is pretty cool. Here's another one of him. Sets new rookie first round record with 32 long balls. Okay. Another Julio Rodriguez, American League Rookie of the Year finalist. And here's another one, 2022 T-Mobile Home Run Derby participant. And I got a Bobby Witt one also. This is a rookie makes history in doubleheader sweep. Basically about him, I don't know, having a pretty good doubleheader. Those Topps Now cards are usually issued for one day, and they usually are relevant to some kind of event that happened not far before. Some mojos from the silver packs from 2023. This is Mike Trout. Got that for $2. And this one is Ivan Rodriguez. Got that for $1. I'm always like those. Some refractors from Topps Chrome. This is Aaron Judge. This is on the 88 design from 2023. Let's see. What did I get this for? $1.50. And Miguel Cabrera for $1.25. They're both refractors. These are just odds and ends from another one of those things where I was buying. Actually, no, I'm buying some cards for players that passed away this year. I did a video last February for players that passed away in 2022, and I'm going to do another one that I'll probably release in February. The reason why I release this in February is because not all the news about players that died this year will show up by the end of the year. Somebody might pass away on the last day of the year, and you won't find about it until like the first or second week in January. So I give this all the way through January so that some of these ball players can be represented in the video that I do. It just takes some times for this. Some of these players aren't well known. They may have played like 10 games total back in the 60s, and people have lost track with them. And somehow Baseball Reference eventually gets the information that they passed away. Anyway, I bought some extra cards while I was buying cards for them, and so there's a lot of odds and ends here that I throw in, and sometimes I add these cards in because if you buy a couple more cards, you end up with free shipping, and so I do stuff like that often. This is from 2008 Donruss Threads. This is Elvis Andrus, and I got that for $1. This is a Stadium Club Gold Justin Upton from 2012. Got that for $1.25. Matt Holliday, this is Bowman Chrome Refractor from 2008. That was $1.20. Vladimir Guerrero Leaf Road from 2005. That was $1.15. Here's some vintage stuff that I got. This is 1961 Jim Constanti MVP card for his winning the MVP in 1950. He had a really great year that year, mostly as a relief pitcher. Not too many relief pitchers back in those days got awards like this, but he pulled in a season that was rather remarkable for a reliever. I think he had a really wonderful one-loss record. I'd have to look that up. I should have looked it up before I started filming, but such as it is, I got that for $5. It's in pretty nice shape too. It's got really clean corners. The centering's off a little bit, but it's a really nice looking card. It even has a printing orb here. I always like those little printing orbs that show up. He has several of them on his cap. 1961 Harvey Keene. Got this for $8. Again, this was a really sharp 1961 card. There are no surface blemishes. The centering is not too bad, but the corners are all sharp on it. Harvey Keene was quite a hitter back in the day. As you can see by these stats, if you can have a look at him, for his first 9 years, he was hitting a career .313 and already had 2 seasons of over 200 hits. I think he's been forgotten for quite some time now. I'm not sure if he's worthy of Hall of Fame. I'm very inclusive with Hall of Fame, so I would definitely put him in, but I think he's borderline for most people that remember him. I remember him from the early 80s because he was the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers at that time. And if you can remember, the Brewers actually faced the Cardinals in the World Series in, I think it was 1982. And they always called his club the Harvey's Wallbangers because quite a few players on that team were good at hitting home runs. Mostly Gorman Thomas, but also Ben Ogilvy. And they also had Cecil Cooper in their lineup. So this was back when Harvey was a player. but I remember him from his time as the Brewers manager. Got a 1969 Sparky Lyle. I think this is his rookie card. No, maybe it isn't. I think it might be. I should have looked that up before I started filming, but this is a pretty sharp-looking card. It's off-centered, but all the corners are sharp. The surface is very clean, very nice looking. The back is very nice looking too. Got that one for $8.50. Now, I paid $2 for this. You can laugh all you want, and Larry Christensen would be a common card for most people, but he was one part of the Phillies pitching rotation back when I was a fan of theirs. I still am a fan of that club. I grew up in Philadelphia, so he was one of the better pitchers they had, along with, Steve Carlton was the ace. There was Larry Christensen, Dick Ruthven, Randy Lurch for a little bit there. He didn't last long with the club and got traded. I'm trying to remember who else was on there. Jim Lomberg was near the end of his career in the late 70s with them, but this is an early 75 card for him that was in really good shape. I know as a common card, this was probably worth maybe a quarter to 50 cents from 1975. I don't know. It depends where you are and how these go. I mean, maybe in some card shops they sell for less. But I saw this on eBay and I wanted to tack it on to another order to get the free shipping. So I was like, all right, I'll pay $2 for it because I'm a fan of his. Got a couple autographs of him. He signed, I picked up a couple of Phillies yearbooks at an antique mall that he signed. So I was happy to get that. 1975, Willie McCovey got this for $8. Really sharp looking. It has a little wear on, I think, this one corner here, but not a bad looking card. Really like that one. Now here's some more of those Topps buybacks. These are a variety of different buybacks that I'm not sure which years they're associated with. I think some of them date back to 2016. And like I said, these were cards that people had that Topps bought back and then they stamped over them. I'm not going to go over the details of these. But maybe somewhere down the road I'll make a video just about these if I get more information about them. But for now, I'm just collecting like old Phillies players from back in the day. Here's Greg Gross on his 1989 Topps card. I got these for about $2 each. I have no idea if that's a great deal, but that you don't really find them cheaper than that on eBay. And I'm sure maybe in a card store you could find them cheaper than this, but I don't have access to one, so this is what I'm stuck with. So 89 Greg Gross. I'm a big fan of Greg Gross. Great pinch hitter. Here's Dave Johnson back when he was a Phillies on his 1978 card. It's got this stamp on it for, I think that says 2016, so that must be the Topps heritage from there. Davey Johnson later became the manager of the Mets in the 80s, especially that 86 club. That's probably what he's mostly known for. He did have one really great year for the Braves where he had 43 homers back in 1973. And I do PC his cards, so that was a nice addition. Bobby Boone, this is his 1974 card. That also looks like it's from 2016 Heritage. The buyback stamp is up here. And not too bad. Pretty decent looking card. This is 1974 Dave Cash. He was the Phillies' second baseman in the 70s before... I don't know what exactly happened to him. He must have been traded or something. This is also from 2016, it looks like. And pretty great second baseman. Yeah, on here it has him with the Pirates right before this. So this is just after he was sent to the Phillies. And Manny Trio would later replace him by the time they made it to the 80 World Series. Here's a 79 Larry Christensen. Again, the same buyback stamp on that. Here's Darren Dalton. These rediscovered Topps come in different colors. That looks like copper or red or something like that. I think the Greg Gross one was silver. The color is based on different colors meant that some were more rarer than others, and I have no idea what the scope of this is. But like I said, maybe somewhere down the road I'll make a video just about these. This is him on his 1987 Topps card. Gene Garber, he had a really interesting career. I do remember him slightly with the Phillies. This is his 78 card. I remember him more often with the Braves, which I think was the team he went to, but I think he came back to the Phillies later on in the 80s for one season. And he had a really, really wild wind-up. A little bit like Louis Tiant, but a little more compact, I'd say, and not as hard as a thrower, but a really interesting relief pitcher and pretty decent one at it too. And the last of the singles is this Manny Trio rookie, or not autograph. I don't know why I'm saying rookie. This is from 2022 Topps Archives, and I had no idea that this was in that set. And this is a fan favorite autograph, and it's an on-card auto. That's not a sticker auto, and it's a blue parallel that's numbered 12 out of 25. And I got that for $16. And I know a lot of you probably think, well, who the heck is Manny Trio? Yeah, I understand. This isn't like a Mike Trout autograph or a Reggie Jackson autograph, but Manny Trio is one of my favorite players growing up. He played for the 1980 Phillies, played for them a couple more years after that. Here he is pictured with the Cubs, which is the team he played before he joined the Phillies. Him and Larry Bowa made quite a nice tandem there at second and short. Not the greatest hitter, but not bad a hitter as for a second baseman back then. This is pre-Ryne Sandberg, when second basemen weren't known to be great hitters. Well, except for Joe Morgan and a couple other ones, but they tended to be similar to shortstops back in the day. But he was a pretty great fielder. Later on played with the Giants, and I think he journeyed around with a couple more clubs before he retired. So I was really thrilled to see this. Thought that was probably a pretty good price for a card numbered out of 25, so I was real happy with that. Some more vintage. I bought all these all at one time. They're priced between $2 and $4. I'm not going to go over what each one was, but they all came together in one lot, and so I was real happy to get some of these. These were sort of like semi-stars, if you want to use the term, from back in the 60s, most of these. And Clay Carroll was a pretty good reliever back then. This is a 1968 card. I bought these mostly because I thought the condition of them was pretty good. That's blocking the back view, but there you go. There's Darren Johnson. This was when he was the Braves. He played for several years for the Phillies back in the 60s. Pretty good pretty good hitter. Oh, I guess he was with the Phillies later on than this. This was earlier on in his career. He played with the Reds and had some of his best seasons with them. You can see he had a 130 RBI season back in 1965. Ray Herbert. This is 1962 Topps. This one's a little bit more beat up. It's hard to find a good 62 Topps card, but I thought the price on this was pretty good. He had one really great year in the 60s for the White Sox and a few other decent years, but he struggled with the clubs he was with before the White Sox. I think he was with the Kansas City Athletics and I think the Detroit Tigers before that. Del Crandall, 1964 Topps card. Pretty decent catcher back in the day. Here's Eddie Stanky manager card from 67 Topps. He was a pretty decent hitter back in, I think, the 1940s, going into the 50s. I should have looked that up before I started the video. Here's 67 Topps card of Jim Wynn. Another one of Mike Cuellar with the Astros long before he was, not that long before he became one of the part of that really great Baltimore Orioles rotation in the early 70s. Kurt Simmons on the tail end of his career had quite a few decent years with the Phillies in the early 60s. Well, actually 50s, I'm wrong about. He was with the Cardinals in the 60s. See, up at that point he had 188 wins. You don't have too many pitchers these days having that many wins. 1965, Joe Horland had quite a few decent years for the White Sox. Here's his 64 season. He was 13-9 with a 1.88 earned run average. So decent career, not enough for Hall of Fame. Didn't pitch long enough or last with numbers that great long enough. But check him out on Baseball Reference. He was a pretty good pitcher back in the day. 1959, Pete Runnels. I guess he's mostly known for that. What year was that? He had like one really great year somewhere back in the past. I don't know enough about him, but I knew it was worth getting his card. It's a little off-center, but nice looking card. Another Clay Carroll card in 1966 Topps. Smokey Burgess. And Alvin Dark, manager card. He had a pretty decent playing career before that. The last thing we're going to go over is this pile of cards here. This was a lot of 71 cards from 1971 Topps. I got the whole thing for $40. I thought that was a pretty good deal for this. It's kind of got a mix of commons and stars and Hall of Famers. There are some beat up cards in here. I think a few cards have creases, but I thought for this price, this was really a great deal to get this many cards from 1971 for just $40. So here we have Gaylord Perry, Mickey Lolich, Kurt Blefary, Ray Fosse. This is a Ted Simmons rookie card. Bill Mazeroski. This one's a little beat up around the corners. Not too bad of a card though. Tony Conigliaro. Mark Belanger, that great fielding shortstop the Orioles had all through the 70s. Joe Pepitone, late in his career with the Cubs. The strikeout leaders, Sam McDowell, Mickey Lolich, and Bob Johnson. Pitching leaders in the National League, Bob Gibson, Gaylord Perry, and Fergie Jenkins. There's another one. The pitching leaders in the American League, Mike Cuellar, Dave McNally, and Jim Perry, Gaylord's brother. There's another one of those. ERA leaders in the National League, Tom Seaver, Wayne Simpson, and Luke Walker. ERA leaders, look at a big crease on that one. I said that some of them had creases. That's ERA leaders in the American League, Diego Segui, Jim Palmer, and Clyde Wright. Home run leaders, Johnny Bench, Billy Williams, and Tony Perez. That's a nice card. Here's the second one of that. American League home run leaders, Frank Howard, who sadly passed away not that long ago this year, Harmon Killebrew, and Carl Yastrzemski. And here's a second one of that. RBI leaders in the National League, this is Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, and Billy Williams. Here's another one. In the American League, Frank Howard, Tony Conigliaro, and Boog Powell. And here's another one of those, and another one, and another one. So I got 4 of them. National League batting leaders, Rico Carty, Joe Torre, and Manny Sanguillen. A second one of that. In the American League, Alex Johnson, Carl Yastrzemski, and Tony Oliva. Another one. Here's Paul Blair, Willie McCovey. That one looks pretty good, I guess, for Willie McCovey. Jim Hunter, that one's got pretty rounded corners on it. Lou Piniella, that one's a little beat up. Don Buford, Ken Singleton back when he was with the Mets. Jim Rowland. Frank Howard, great power hitter for the Senators. Leo Durocher, manager card. Curt Flood. National League rookies, Enzo Hernandez, Bill Buckner, and Marty Perez. This is not a Bill Buckner rookie card. His rookie card is from the season before, but he shows up on another one of these. This one's really beat up, so this is a second-year Bill Buckner. I probably will look for a better one of those down the road. Andy Etchebarren, Jim Perry, Gaylord's brother, Manny Sanguillen, Tim McCarver, who passed away earlier this year, Chuck Hinton, Joe Rudy, Maury Wills, passed away last year, Don Sutton, Billy Williams, another Billy Williams, Gene Tennis, World Series card, Brooks Robinson on there, another one of Frank Robinson, Boog Powell on this one, Juan Marichal, Greg Nettles, I think this is a third-year card for him. Dave McNally, or is it? Yeah, I think it's a third-year card. Brooks Robinson, Joe Morgan, Hoyt Wilhelm, Willie Stargell, Rod Carew, AL Playoffs, Jim Palmer, Dave McNally, Boog Powell, Bobby Grich. I want to say this is his rookie card. I think this is his rookie card. Mike Cuellar again, Tommy Davis, and Sam McDowell, quite a hard-throwing left-hander that had quite a decent career going on through the 60s. Here in 1970, he had a 20-12 record with a 2.93 ERA and 304 strikeouts. He had some injuries that curtailed his career, but if it wasn't for those injuries, I think this would have been an easy Hall of Famer. So that's what I bought on eBay and the card swap. Geez, I wasn't expecting this to take a half hour, but it did. Maybe the next time I might not buy so many lots because I think it takes some time to go through 71 different cards there. But I wanted to show them all to you so you get a look at them, see what they look like, in case you haven't seen any cards from that far back. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, everybody. Wee! Beep, beep.